Hi, comic book fans, and welcome to another SundayComics.com video. And it's a Monday night. It is the price variance, and Alan and I are looking at the Silver Age comic market based on heritage sales last week, as curated by Allan. So we've just looked at the first five over on Alan's channel, and it wasn't good. It was not good in terms of last week. I thought we were seeing the signs of a recovery in the Silver Age market, but this week we had to explain that five people got deals at Heritage because everything went
It was all good luck. All good luck.
for really low prices. Right, so we're hoping that of the five that I've got here, we're going to have a bit more encouraging story. So let me share, and we are starting with my we're starting with an arachnid, but it's not.
Yeah,
I don't think we've had this one before, Alan.
no, but this is a cool one. This is where Dr. Octopus unmasks Spider-Man, right?
Okay, so how come everybody forgets who he is after this issue?
People have really short-term memories,
Uh,
just so you know, and especially in comics. That's why when people die, oh, did they really die? Oh, next issue they're alive again, so it's okay. They just forget. So they just forget who Spider-Man is.
I mean, Doctor Octopus looks like some sort of drunk, doesn't he? Here, with sort of red nose and the sort of slightly goofy look on his face.
He's a little goofy looking. I always like Doctor Octopus. I always thought he was kind of a cool character. But yeah, this is another cool book. This is actually kind of a major key because it is, early Spider-Man, and it is where he gets unmasked. What does it say? What does the notes say about it?
There's third appearance of Doctor Octopus,
Yeah.
and there's a letter from Dave Cockrum.
Okay. They don't say, oh, the first time Spider-Man gets unmasked or anything like that.
Uh, well,
Okay.
it happens about every other issue, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody finds out who he is and then immediately forgets. Okay. So 900, it's a nice looking copy.
Yeah, very nice. I like these yellow covers.
Yeah, I like
They always pop for me,
the yellow.
especially against the red.
Yeah, and the black. I like yellow covers as well. Right. So $960 for a 7.5.
Seems a little low to me.
Fingers crossed.
Um, because it is such a high grade. It's like,
Oh, this is okay.
oh, actually, it's okay. Wow. I always thought this was a more expensive book. I might pick up a copy.
This is
Um,
okay, I think, Alan. This is actually doing quite well versus pre-COVID. So
okay. So what's the pre-COVID price?
pre-COVID 700, and it's now sitting at 980. So
Oh,
this
almost 30%.
this and look, this is there's
Got a nice trend line up, actually. Almost getting back up to COVID levels.
in the last 3 years, the trend line is generally up. Yeah, so I think this one's done all right, Alan. I think we can.
Okay. I was thinking it was a bit low. But
I think it's
I
okay.
wow. How many of these are on the census?
Um, 2,373.
Which is sort of a typical number. So yeah. Um, I think a lot of people like to get these kind of books where it's not necessarily a major key or anything, but they just want to have that run
Well, it's a
early.
Spider-Man number 12 for less than $1,000, isn't it? In a
Yeah,
nice
and a
grade.
really nice copy of it
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
There's a lot of Spider-Man collectors out
I
there.
mean, this is down actually from the previous sale. The previous sale was,
I mean, it's only $40.
I know, it's not majorly down, but overall it shows that the trend line is kind of working its way up. I guess this would be
Only
about a
$40.
$1,000 book.
$40 is de minimis. That's
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah. But my point is, this is probably hovering around that $1,000
exactly,
mark.
exactly
Yeah,
what I think. Okay, well, that's quite a good one, I think.
that's a good one. Okay, so good start.
Oh, this is
Let's
great. This is Namor's bottom.
first appearance of Namor's bottom. Okay, no, it's
Namor's
joking.
butt cover. I've got this.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a cool one actually.
There we have. You can see the whole problem that Reed Richards has with his wife, because she really likes Namor's bottom. Uh,
Yeah, she's like the one in the
this is
back looking
this
at
is
his butt.
setting the whole trend for the next 20 years of Fantastic Four, where every
Hmm.
so often she goes off and has a little affair.
Fling with Namor. Yeah.
She's a bottom woman. She likes bottoms.
So yeah, so this is an interesting one. Namor's in between. It really is setting up that dynamic, like of
He might
him
have
being in between.
a triangular head, but he's got a nice round bum.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's taking it all in there.
Okay, so what does the note say about this? What is it? Is it
Well, I don't think you can get a better description than I just gave you. It, it's a submariner appearance. I mean, that's a bit boring. It doesn't say anything.
second appearance of the Puppet Master?
Well, I mean, when you say there he is. You can see his bottom. We presume it's Namor. And second appearance of the Puppet Master. Where's he?
Yeah.
Where's he? He's nowhere.
Yeah, he's not on the cover. On his first appearance, he's on the cover though, so balance that.
And he's sort of doing the John Wayne stance.
Yeah,
He's
he
got
looks like he's gonna pull out some guns or something.
exactly, and he's got the other three members of the Fantastic Four between his legs.
Hmm.
I can't think of another cover that does that.
What do you mean?
Well, quite often in covers you get similar over the years. Different. You get covers that are similarly formatted. And
Yeah.
here,
Oh, there's lots of between the leg covers
oh, is
though.
there lots of between the leg covers? Okay.
Oh yeah, I have a friend that collects them, and he has like dozens of them.
Oh, okay, right.
They're
No,
actually quite pop. It's a genre in itself where people
oh, it's
collect
like
those.
bubblegum covers.
Yeah, it's sort of the same idea.
Yeah.
But this is a well done one, I would say.
Right. So I do like this one. It's a 9.0. It's a fantastic
9.0 white pager. It's a nice copy.
new white pager.
Really nice copy.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's sold for what?
Sold for 1920, nearly $2,000.
Wow. Okay. So Namor's butt is pretty expensive.
And it's pretty stable.
Pretty stable. Almost a flat even after COVID. It's not like it doesn't have like that typical
Well,
spike look.
it's well up on pre-COVID. So pre-COVID, we're looking at 1.5, 1.5.
Okay. So
So
this is also up maybe about 25%.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not a record because it's been up a bit further, but there's a couple of COVID prices there, but it's holding its own since COVID.
Yeah.
It
It's not like it doesn't have the
hasn't
big dip.
gone whoomp, has it? Which a lot of them have.
But I would say one of the reasons for that is this book probably doesn't sell that often in this high of a grade.
It probably doesn't. There's
And
only
if you look at the census, it's around
there's only
1,000.
30 of these overall,
Yeah.
and there's only 33 at this grade.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
you're
it's
right.
a
It
fairly
sells,
rare
it
book.
sells very rarely, Alan. It sold once in 2024, twice in 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Oh, it sold loads of times in 2022 during COVID. That's because
That was the best time to sell it too.
that was the best time to sell it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it sold 6, 7, 8 times in 2022. Didn't sell it
Wow.
in 2023.
Well,
One,
somebody knew what they were doing.
yeah, the people, somebody obviously works out now's the time to sell.
Mm. Wow, that's interesting. I mean, a cool book. I like it. So,
Right. Okay, that's okay. That's all right. Oh, we got another biggie. It's X-Men 3.
mhm.
It's this first blob.
This is the first blob, and it's reasonably high grade. Again, another 9.0.
Very high grade.
Does it say if it's white pages or off white? Off white.
White, white.
I mean, this is one of those books that I've never seen a really white copy of this book. It's always kind of that tanned look. I'm not sure what the original would look like if it was like a bright white or
It might have been the original was that creamy color.
okay. Because this is definitely a high grade.
It is.
And it's a cool first appearance.
He's on the cover.
Yep. I always feel like Iceman is kind of lame. I don't know. He's just throwing his
Well,
icicles. I don't
on the
know.
cover of #1, he's throwing a snowball at Magneto,
Yeah.
and here he's throwing a rocket shaped
Yeah,
ice.
it's a little bit better. He's improving, but I don't know.
It has progressed from snowballs to rocket shaped icicles.
And it looks like he's holding Jean Grey's hand.
It does, doesn't it? Well, he is
Uh,
holding Grey's hand. She doesn't look very happy about it though.
hmm. So yeah. But I think this is a cool book. Early X-Men, X-Men #3, obviously their third appearances, I guess. Uh and Blob's first appearance. I
So,
like these early X-Men. I think they're cool.
yeah, 3,120.
For a 9.0.
Yeah. Okay. Let's
What do you think? Is that do
big
you
things down.
you were right based on the big spike.
Oh well,
But it's way above
well,
pre-COVID.
COVID. It's also a bit down on whatever that previous sale was. But
But it's
it's a bit up on the
pre-COVID.
it's
You
up
like actually if you look at pre-COVID, it's a pretty flat
still up.
line.
It's still at that 2 3. Ooh, yeah, it's up on pre-COVID.
A lot. Yeah, it's up like 30%.
Yeah, so that's this doing all right. This is doing okay.
This would actually be like if you actually take that trend line and just carry it right across,
Right, it's doing
this
very
is
well.
way above that trend line.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, this is doing okay.
Maybe that's because people feel like there's some hope for X-Men coming into the MCU.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
the Blob was in X-Men '92.
the thing that I find with these COVID sales, in a way, it shows the potential. I always feel like it shows what people, if give people random amounts of money, how much would it impact the market? Like I think that's what COVID did,
I think
where with all the stimulus and stuff.
you're an eternal optimist, Alan.
Yeah, I really do see that those COVID numbers is like where the market could
Yes.
go.
You
Yeah,
view the COVID number as, oh, that's what this is going to be worth at some point.
yeah,
Again.
basically. Yeah, I do feel that way.
Yeah. I think
So
might be long.
what's the census on this one?
This will be quite large, won't it? 2.7.
Okay, so that is quite high.
Yeah.
It's a little, I sort of see anything in that 1,000 to 2,000 range for Marvel as being kind of a little bit low.
Yeah.
When it's 2,700 or 3,000, I think that's kind of more standard or high. Okay, cool book. I have a raw copy of it, so I'm quite happy.
I don't collect X-Men. I don't think I've ever had this one.
I made it a goal like way back when, like when I first got back into collecting, to pick up 1 through 20 of X-Men.
Yeah. But expensive thing to do. Right.
It was an expensive thing to do.
Now then, we've had this on a few times, Alan.
I love this book. You're gonna see it anytime I see it. I'm like, I got to put it on the list. I love this book.
I've got this, of course, because it's Brave and the Bold. This is a very old label.
Really old label.
Yeah.
I always wonder with the old labels, like if people will pay a little premium for them just because, a couple of things with the old labels, they graded harsher back then because they were trying to establish themselves as like an authority. The other thing is at the time people didn't like press their books. They didn't because they were worried about getting restoration. So a lot of these can be pressed and get higher grades.
Yeah, I would
So
say
there's an opportunity in here.
You see, that's this white blob here, and there's another one there, and there's a blob there, and a blob there, blob there. I would be tempted not to get that regraded.
Me too. Yeah, I'm not sure if those are printing defects though. You know what I mean?
Well, they aren't on my copy.
Or those could be on the slab itself.
No, those look like that.
Well, that doesn't look like one. I'll have to look at my copy, see what's there. But yeah, I don't know. I always thought this was a cool book. It's the first Silver Age appearance of Hawkman and Hawkgirl.
Yeah.
It's also where they are totally different characters. They're new characters in terms of the way that they work.
Yeah.
They're the international policing group. No, they're not international, intergalactic, I mean. Um, so yeah, kind of cool characters. I always thought Hawkman's a cool character. I just love the way. Who did this cover? Is this Moldov?
Joe Kubert.
Joe Kubert. Oh wow. The reason I thought it was Moldov, just the wings. Um, very nice. I love this cover though.
I mean, it's completely impractical, isn't it? How did that thing get its head
I
out?
think it's they're trying to create that forced perspective that that the creature's head is up close, and that way back is
Right.
the
I'm with you. Yeah. Yeah.
because even Hawkgirl is much smaller than Hawkman, right?
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah. 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 Okay. Yeah. Well, I love that one. Right. We both like that cover. How much does that sell for? 3,360 for a really high grade. 990, was it? Yeah,
another 9-0.
yeah, 90.
3 9-0s in a row. It seems like a bit of a theme.
3 9s in a row. Is there a song? Oh my goodness, it's a disaster, Alan.
This one did terribly.
This is awful. Let's look at this. This is pre-COVID was 4.5, and
Oh
this
wow.
3.360. This is a nightmare.
Wow, that's terrible. And the funny thing is, the Superman trailer had the Hawkgirl in it.
Oh dear. And
That is terrible.
isn't Hawk Girl in the new Superman movie?
Yeah. Oh well. It's down a lot. What was that spike? How high did this book reach? Like 10,000 or something crazy? What's that spike? I mean, the spike looks way up. What was it?
10,005.
Wow. I don't know. And if you look at the census, it's quite low.
Yeah, this is a Brave and the Bold mid. It will be 1,000. Yeah, 974.
Yeah. For first appearances, for big first appearances. I mean, Hawkman is a fairly major character, and Hawkgirl.
People don't like Hawkman.
I don't know. I think this one's very underrated. So I think somebody got a major steal on this. I would have thought this book would be closer to that pre-COVID price.
Yeah, well, it isn't.
Wow. Okay, so that was a bit of a downer after all the good ones we had.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to end with another X-Men.
Another X-Men. And this, I just thought this was a huge sale.
7.8 sounds big.
The first appearance of the Juggernaut. This is X-Men number 12.
Yeah, it's another one where all we can see is his back, and we can't even get a good picture of his bottom.
No, I know, no bottoms for you. Sorry. Um, yeah, but it's the origin of Professor X. First appearance of the Juggernaut, which is actually Professor X's brother.
Marco.
What does it say? What does that black thing say there? Like where it's above the notes? Is it a part of a collection?
Yes, it's the Don Stroke Maggie Thompson collection.
Very interesting.
It used to be owned by Don and Maggie Thompson, who
Whoever they are.
didn't get a pedigree, but they have got a collection.
Yeah, I mean, the difference between a pedigree and a collection is they were probably not the original owners, that they bought the books from somebody else and then they curated a collection.
Okay.
But they would be famous enough that it's sort of like the Nicolas Cage collection or whatever.
So it'd be like the Alan Pollitt collection.
Someday we can hope that there is that collection out there. So
If you want to have if you want to be an official collection, in other words, they put it on their labels that this is part of the Alan Pollitt collection.
mhm.
Do you have to go through some procedures and checks and things
I
like
think there's like it's not anybody that gets that. I think you have to be somebody of note.
that? Right.
If you're just a nobody, I don't think they'd bother.
Well, who the hell is Don and Maggie Thompson?
Well, maybe they're famous. I don't know. We'd have to look them up. I don't know them. There was a few that I wasn't familiar with, where it was like these kind of collections from some random person. But when I looked them up, then they were like some really famous comic collector or celebrity in their own right, like for not just for comics. So yeah, it's one of those things. I always look them up at later. I will have to. I'll look it up later and figure out who they are.
Yeah, right. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but 7,800, I think,
Yeah,
was the price.
800. You think that's like, you reckon that's a good price, do you?
That seems like a reasonably high price.
It's a good price. It's not a record, but it's a good price.
It's really close to a record. Jeez, it's
And
quite high.
this one has not dropped back. Uh,
No.
this has not dropped back from the COVID peak.
What was the COVID peak? I mean, it looks almost like slightly above.
About 8,000. So this is not far off the COVID peak.
Wow, this is a really strong sale.
It really held its own, hasn't it? This one. Why has this one done so well in terms of holding its price, Alan?
Now, is this like it's not even the highest grade, which is
No,
interesting. It's a very high grade, but it's
yeah.
not the highest. I mean, Juggernaut's a very popular character,
Yeah.
but I don't know why this one held its value so well.
Spider-Man,
Maybe.
Spider-Man's a popular character and it hasn't held his prices post-COVID.
Yeah, but what's the census on this? Maybe that's part of it too. There's maybe the rarity of this book.
No, there's loads of them. 4,450.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's not rare. Is it rare and high grade? Is it like how many of
44 9.2s.
okay. Hmm. I don't know. You got me. I'm stumped. I have no idea. But this is a very strong sale. That's a good sign.
Well, it's also the second one at that price. The previous sale was 8,000, about the same price.
Yeah. Does this book sell very often?
So we've had two sales in 2025,
Okay.
one sale in 2024.
Okay, so it doesn't sell that often.
No. Three sales in 2023,
Okay.
and only one sale in 2022. So no,
Oh, okay, so it never probably hit that COVID high then.
and one sale in 2021 and one sale in yeah. So it doesn't sell that frequently, is the
So it
answer.
doesn't sell like that's what we noticed with that other book where it just didn't have enough sales to kind of throw off the market numbers.
Yeah,
Like especially if you had a lot of sales in 2022, you can get that huge spike,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Whereas this one never had that. So it kind of held its own a bit better. But it's way above pre-COVID.
Way above, yeah.
I mean, it's still in this spiky thing. Like if I didn't know any better, I would say we're still in COVID era. It's like it's a huge spike.
Yeah, that's an odd one. That is really an outlier. We've not seen one particularly like that before.
So save your X-Men 12s, guys, and
Yeah,
maybe so very cool book. So I think that was an interesting list. A little bit all over the place. It's
yeah,
hard to really say
yeah. I
something definitive.
Definitely was a few really low sales there, though, Alan.
Especially, I'm really disappointed by that Brave and the Bold.
Yeah, that Forkman was did really bad.
That was a disaster.
Yeah.
But oh well. I'm glad I don't collect Brave and the Bold. Whoever collects
Oh,
Brave and the Bold, oh my goodness.
you wait till Mr. Gunn revives the DC.
I'm just joking. So yeah.
Well, I thought you wanted a readjustment of the values of DC Comics.
Well, I actually want them to go up. I have most of the keys from that run, so
There, you're happy for it to go up.
mm.
Right. Okay, guys, that is it for this week. We will be back next week, looking at the Silver Age market and hoping for better things than this week. But that's it for now. Bye, Alan.